Welcome to the show, Tell Like It Is, and I'm your host, Mark Wasberg, and here's my co-host, John Monks, my political analyst and a Constitution buff. Proposition 8 is not a legal issue, but a religious one. This is why the Mormon Church and many other religious groups helped pass Proposition 8. Now, according to our governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he even admitted that it was a religious issue and did not want to comment on the Jay Leno show, and after Jay was drilling Arnold about Proposition 8. We know for a fact that our founding fathers were holy men.
That's right. They went to church on Sunday. They believed in Jesus Christ and Him crucified. They were deacons and pastors, and they read the Bible. They believed in God.
Well, we know for a fact that Thomas Jefferson did not believe in God because he has a legitimate child, and we know he had a child out of wedlock from Sally Hemings. You could go on the internet and read about that. Jesse Jackson, he has a bastard son out of wedlock. And what was Jesse Jackson preaching about, John?
He was preaching about abstinence. He was at a high school and he was telling the students there, when they're out there having sex out of wedlock, he says, you know better than to have sex out of wedlock. You know better now than to go out and have sex with your girlfriend. You know better than that. You know better than that. You know better than that. Well, meanwhile, Jackson went out and did just that. He went out and had sex with a woman outside of marriage and had a love child.
He committed fornication.
And he knows better than that.
And now, his career is over because you don't hear anything from Jesse Jackson anymore.
That's right. With the Bible Belt, he's through.
Now, John Edwards, he has a bitch daughter according to biblical scripture, a lust child, out of wedlock, and he was bragging about it. But his career is through, and now he has to pay child support until she's 25. Now, let's talk about Newt Gingrich. He was going around preaching family values and having sex with his intern. The third powerful man in the world, John.
Yep.
Sin brought him down. He resigned. Because the problem is, when the president and the vice president should ever get assassinated, he's the third powerful man in the world, the Speaker of the House.
He would have become president. A man like that would have become president of the United States. And yes, he should have known better than that. It isn't so much that he had a love child. It is the fact that he lied about it. It is the fact that all these people, including Edwards, lied about it. Said, no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. A matter of fact, Edwards is so corrupt, he even tried to get one of his friends to take the rap for it.
Matter of fact, his lover turned him in for campaign fraud.
Yeah, well, when you're dishonest with one person, you're dishonest with another. And as Ross Perot says, look it, if his wife can't trust him, how can I?
Now let's talk about Bill Clinton. We all know what happened between him and Monica Lewinsky. But now the problem is, he lied. But it was the lie that almost impeached him. It wasn't the affair that he had. He committed adultery, fornication, he bare false witness. What more corrupt person can that be, John? The President of the United States lying directly to the American people and to the world.
Right on television. I did not have sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. I did not have sex. I did not have sex. Yeah, Mr. President, we can't trust you anymore. You blew it. Why don't you just say, it's none of your business? Why don't you just say, I blew it? Why don't you just say, this is a family affair, I'm staying out of it? But no, you had to tell a lie. Now look where you're at. You're in Haiti trying to help them. Well, good. I hope you can help them out.
Jimmy Swaggart, the man of the cloth, preaching hell and damnation, preaching how to live a good, moral, holy life. He had sex with a prostitute. Then when everybody found out about it, he got on the airwaves and says, I have sinned. I as a sinner, please forgive me. And then what happened, John?
He had sex with a prostitute. Next thing you know, he's on television saying, I'm so sorry. He had a sin. He turned around and did it again. And this is a Bible scholar, a man with a multi-million-dollar church affiliation behind him, with thousands and thousands of church viewers, television viewers watching his program with great respect for him, and he blew it for him. He threw it all away. Why? Because he cared more about sex than he cared about his own congregation. He's through.
You don't hear him on the airwaves no more, John.
No, he blew it. He blew it. His congregation does not trust him anymore. He blew it.
Now, Pee Wee Herman. He was arrested for masturbating inside a porn theater. Why was he arrested? Because it's immoral. It was nasty what he did.
Here, a model for children. He was doing children's programs. He was a model for children. Children used to mimic Pee Wee Herman. So what did he do? He went into a bathroom, blew it, and it is over for him. It's unfortunate. It's sad. I have respect for Pee Wee Herman, but I do not have respect for what he did in that boy's room.
Tiger Woods. Everybody respected Tiger Woods. Everybody liked him. He was a famous golfer.
The best golfer in the world.
And yet when people found out that he had 6 different lovers, a married man, had 2 beautiful children, this guy's a sex maniac. And he almost lost all his endorsements, John.
Yes.
And now he's going to therapy for sex addiction.
To try to save his marriage. And he blew it, he blew it, he blew it. His children can't trust him anymore. His wife can't trust him anymore. His endorsers can't trust him anymore. He threw the whole multi-million-dollar business right down the toilet. Why? Because he likes sex more than he likes you.
I was reading in the tabloids that said, what a tiger.
What a tiger. Yeah, he's a tiger, all right. He acts just like an animal. Not
Matter
even
of
like a
fact,
human
he
being.
sure did. That's
Yeah.
what they do in the jungle.
Yep. Just
Shame
like,
on you, Tiger Woods. Shame on you.
act just like an animal. We should be better than the animals. We should be better than the monkeys and the lions and the lions and the tigers and the elephants.
Okay, now let's talk about Ellen DeGeneres. Well, everybody know that she's a lesbian, right?
That's fine.
See, this is why they canceled her show, because she was promoting to be a lesbian on the show. She was lusting after other women, John.
Very bad image for
right.
Disney Incorporated. Very
And yet
bad image.
everybody's watching this, and she was checking out other women on the show. She was promoting this stuff.
I liked the Ellen DeGeneres show. I thought it was very funny. But I do not endorse having an affair which cannot sustain good, strong family values and provides a good foundation for the next generation.
Ellen DeGeneres, she favors little gay boys molesting other little boys. Because what happened was, that little boy, the little gay boy, gave another boy a Valentine.
Yeah.
It happened. This is really true. And so what happened was, the straight boy turned around and killed the gay boy.
Yeah.
See, this is what Ellen DeGeneres is preaching, John. To her, this is okay. This is fine. Now, let's talk about Anne-Marie Sparks from Napa, California. Beautiful, well-educated lady. She won the Miss Napa contest in 1993. She has 3 daughters by 3 different lovers. Her mother, Kathleen Afano, from Vallejo, California, told me, she goes, well, I don't approve of my daughter's lifestyle. I said, what do you do, calling your daughter a prostitute or H-O-R-E? I said, Kathleen, you have 2 failed marriages. You know, it's all about having morals. See, this is what I'm trying to say. I said, why do you want to criticize your own daughter when you have 2 failed marriages?
Because she wants her daughter to be a little bit better than herself. And one thing about older people who have messed up, they can be very, very regretful. Yeah, she had those things which went awry. I can have sympathy as long as you learn your lesson. Well, that's fine. But she does not want her daughter to go down the same path. So it's one of those areas where you say, do what I say, don't follow my example.
Now let's talk about the porn star became a school teacher. She quit the porn business. She went to college, got her education, got her degree. And then when she filed an application out to be a school teacher, they turned her down. Like I said, John, she has every right to be a school teacher.
That's because everybody, including the school board, has a little something inside of them that says, look it, if you're out there prostituting, if you're out there committing acts of homosexuality, if you're out there fondling little boys, if you're out there doing immoral sexual deeds like that, then you are not suitable for teaching kids because you may influence them to do the wrong thing. And that is a situation which is unsustainable. And you know it, and I know it.
But she has every right to be a teacher, though. See, this is what we're talking about, morals. Now, when the Boy Scouts of America got rid of that queer,
They had every right to.
they did.
It's a private corporation. They have every right to set their membership rules.
And then what happened was, he got mad and he turned around and tried to sue him.
Yeah, and he lost.
It's all about having morals.
It's about being moral. It's about doing the right thing. I'm not saying that you're necessarily a bad person because you have an inkling for men or you have an inkling for women or anything like that. But the only good thing you can honestly say about homosexuality is that it's sterile, and the next generation will not exist.
Mayor Gavin Newsom, mayor of San Francisco, the reason why he did not run for governor, because he was going around preaching same-sex marriages, and yet he was a married man, and he had sex with his best friend, wife. He had sex with his best friend's wife.
And it goes right back to what Ross Perot says. If I can't trust him, how can you? How can, if his wife can't trust him, how can I?
How immoral this can be. Here we're going to have a governor that went out and cheated on his wife. Was he married when he was having sex with that woman?
That I don't know.
I think he was engaged.
One thing about politicians, they are so arrogant. They think they're above morality. They're above everybody else. They can do whatever they want because they think in the back of their mind they're God.
That's true. Now, let's talk about gays in the military. The reason why gays are discharged out of the military, according to the top brass of the Pentagon, is immoral. But under the Constitution, you have every right to be in the military. You have every right to be married, like all other Americans in this country.
But do you have a right to destroy the system? Do you have a right against the fight against the system for no good reason? Do you have a right to destroy cohesiveness amongst military soldiers? How is it going to be if you're in a foxhole with another guy and he puts the make on you? How's this going to work out? You tell me.
Well, now the problem is, now Obama, if he wants to, he could sign an executive order allowing gays stay in the military without being discharged, and he could reinstitute the gays that was discharged with back pay. But you think Obama's going to sign an executive order for not discharging gays out of the military?
He will if he wants to destroy America. It seems to me he's done a lot of other things to try to destroy America. 43 cents out of every dollar is printed up, not taxed. Yes, he's done a lot to destroy America. I hope he doesn't go so far down in the toilet is to drag that thing up and destroy America.
But now, according to the top brass, they can't handle gays in the military. They will make exceptions to have gays in the military. And I'm going to tell you, John, it's going to destroy the military.
It will. It will.
The morality inside the military is just going to fall apart.
Yeah, it will hurt them. I mean, I don't necessarily think it'll completely destroy it, but it'll definitely hurt it. And because everybody knows that homosexuality is wrong. It is a bad thing. You don't see much of it in the animal kingdom. And where it does occur in the animal kingdom, that's the last generation. And that'll be the last generation for us if we promote it.
Marriage is a religious contract between a man and a woman. This is why you take your vows to be honest and obey, for sickness and in health, and for richer and for poorer, and death do you part. John, it's all about, and there's another reason for marriage, is to produce legal offspring. So like I say, you don't have a bunch of Jesse Jacksons and then little John Edwards running around. It's to produce and have a good moral family.
To provide a foundation. Women teach children love and compassion. Men teach children respect. It takes those two polar opposites to produce good children. Every good child, practically every good child in the world, few exceptions, who have been highly successful in their lives have had two decent, strong people, opposite sexes, who were married and who were true to their vows.
But now, since the gays want to be, quote, married, they're going to adopt children, and they're going to teach their children to be gay. They're going to teach their children to lust after little boys and lust after little girls. It's a proven fact, John. And this is what I'm trying to tell the people. It's not about hate or discrimination on Prop 8. It's all preserving a family. And it's immorally wrong for a gay couple to go out and promote their little children to go out and molest other children.
That's right. I think a psychologist will say 10% of the American population, 10% women, men are homosexual. 10%. Actually, I feel very sorry for them. I really do. It's sad.
Well, they,
But no one says that they can't have a relationship together. No one says that they can't have fun with each other and go date each other and have all the fun that everybody else has. We just don't want legal marriages because we don't want two women or two men raising children by themselves. Now, it may be better than letting a little child run around homeless or something like that, but it is not as ideal as having a committed marriage between a man and a woman raising children. That's what you want. That's the ideal. That's what I'm looking for.
because the problem is, John, they're going to teach their children to be gay, and they're going to teach their children to be gay.
Well, it's beyond that.
And it's going to
beyond that.
It's like a chain reaction. They're going to keep doing it, and you have more people going to start being gay.
Well, it's beyond all that. Those kind of relationships don't work out very well. The children don't. They grow up lopsided. They either love women or they love men, and they don't have the capacity for love and compassion and respect at the same time. You can be like the flower children and have love and compassion just like the flower children, or you could be like military brats, have nothing but respect, no love, compassion. Life doesn't work that way. It takes both sides, men and women, to make a society work properly. You can't just have love and respect. You can't just have one without the other.
Now let's talk about AIDS. We know for a fact that AIDS came from the homosexuals in San Francisco. Remember when all those queers were dying of AIDS? Liberace and Rock Hudson died of AIDS, and when Rock Hudson went on his deathbed, he regret what he did, and so did Liberace.
I'm sure of it.
And there was an old saying goes that Liberace got a piece of the rock.
Yeah, he probably did. They probably both loved each other. But look where it got them. They're both in the cemetery right now. They would probably, if they had not committed those acts, still be alive today. And Liberace was, other than that, was a great piano player, probably second to none.
Oh, the best in the world.
And Rock Hudson, the most articulate, a very, very good actor. Gone. Why? Like sex.
Well, we know for a fact that the rectum is one of the most hazardous dump sites in the world, John. Everything you eat, all the chemicals, the poisons that you pump in your body comes out of the rectum. And yet, here you have these homosexuals passing human waste to human waste. That's what they was doing. They was having all these different lovers, putting blood and semen together.
Yes, and it's beyond all that. HIV is passed by body fluids. You want HIV, you get it from hypodermic needles from some other person with HIV, or you get it through anal sex. Either way, you can get HIV. Sex through normal intercourse. The woman could get, there's a small chance that she can get it from the man, but there's a very minute chance, probably downright impossible, for a man to get sex from a woman through normal sex, that is intercourse.
Why don't you just make love to a garbage can or a sewer? That's what these homosexuals are doing. And then after they have anal sex, they're having oral sex. So why don't you just go to a garbage can and start eating out of the garbage in a sewer? John, it is the filthiest, disgusting, the most horrible act in the human race to have sex with the same sex. Our bodies was not designed to have that, John.
Couldn't have said it better. It's not just AIDS. There's chlamydia, clap, typhoid, hepatitis, A, B, and C, herpes. All kinds of diseases, all kinds of sexually transmitted diseases can come from that. You transmit body fluids and down the tubes you go. You want to keep that to a bottom, and you want to have a monogamous relationship with only one woman. That way you're not spreading all these diseases all over kingdom come.
But the gays, the homosexuals, did not want a minute, John. I was confronting some of these homosexuals out in San Francisco, and they denied the whole thing. They did not want to realize that they are poisoning the world. AIDS could have wiped out the whole entire race.
It is amazing, man's capacity for denial. Oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, I didn't know I was doing anything wrong by having sex with another man. Oh, I didn't think that the homosexuality was sinful. Oh, I didn't think that would hurt relationships. Man has infinite capacity for denial. Well, guess what? It does. That's why the Bible speaks out against it. That's why other religious scriptures speak out against it. And it violates nature.
Every time you read in the Bible about homosexuals or lesbians, God destroyed them.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Correct.
And many other civilizations just went right down the tubes. Because and many people believe even the Roman Empire, because of the gladiators and stuff, had homosexual sex amongst themselves, and the whole system came tumbling down.
I went out to the Castro district, and they had naked men in the window, John. It was promoting this filth. It looked like it reminded me of the city of Sodom.
That's because men are visually oriented. Women are more oriented towards words, kind deeds, kind things like that. And men like images. So if they see an image of a beautiful man, they're turned on. Most everybody else amongst the heterosexual world men are turned on by beautiful images. That's why men go after so much pornography on the internet. They like to look at naked women. Women, a little different than that. Women their pornography comes from love stories, murder mysteries, things like that they read in books. But it's the same thing.
When I was out in San Francisco, I was for a proposition. 7,300 homosexuals, and there was a few lesbians there. I was the most uncomfortable person in the world, John. How would you feel if you were surrounded by 7,300 homosexuals, and I was right in the middle of them? When I had my sign, Power for the Vote, it was going nuts. I said, look, the people of California voted fair and square, John. And what these politicians are trying to do, what these actors are trying to do, Drew Barrymore, who was that guy that played on All in the Family? Bob Reiner, that was challenging Proposition 8. Jerry Brown, Dianne Feinstein, they all try to destroy the vote. This is what a democracy is all about. We voted fair and square to have no same-sex marriages. And now one man in the United States government, Judge Von Walker, could destroy 7 million votes. But the problem is, why vote when the United States government is going to destroy our democracy?
This civilization was built on morality, Christian morality to be precise. Tell me what other country on earth, tell me what other great economic giant has ever occurred that did not occur without Christianity. Name one. England, Germany, even Japan didn't take off until they adopted Christianity. And now China, Catholic Church all over the place, Christianity everywhere, they're taking off. South Korea, on and on. Look at the ones that reject morality. Look at the ones that reject Christianity. Who? Rhodesia, North Korea. North Korea, the most repressive regime on earth. It is illegal to even be in possession of the Holy Bible. And look at where they're at. The most miserable regime to exist on earth.
Because our civilization was brought up on morals.
That's right.
You look at the civil laws we have today, John. It's a replica of the 10 Commandments. But man does not want to admit it. Every day, Congress opens up with a prayer.
And they should.
And what happened was, they had a priest going up there and start blessing all the congressmen and senators with holy water. But you didn't see Bill Clinton, Newt Gingrich, and John Edwards, or Jesse Jackson was there.
No, they look rather funny out there after the acts they committed. You'd be out there either spreading holy water or receiving holy water or taking part in a otherwise Christian ceremony such as that.
Now let's get back where I was at in San Francisco. I mean, stupid me, here I am, I'm surrounded by all these homosexuals, right? And we're having a sign fight. And then what happened was, I leave the crowd, I get right next to the speaker, and I'm sitting there holding up my sign, and what they did, they was trying to cover my sign. So we started having a little tug of war with signs, right? And so what happened was, I'll try to make this fast because we're almost running out of time. And what happened was, this one queer, he gave me the tush. Take that, you mean man. I looked, I said, oh no, come on. And then another one, this other gay guy, he gives me the booty. So I fall against this one queer, this other queer falls against another one. Now we have a chain reaction, and now this one queer goes, officer, officer, get him out of here. And I was gonna leave, and I felt somebody tugging on my jacket, so I turn around like this, and the cops thinks I'm gonna hit him. So they grab me, they throw me up against the wall, they put the handcuffs on me. I said, wait a minute, I have every right to be here like everybody else. This is supposed to be a peaceful protest. But see, they did not get it. I said, look, you don't have to be mad. The people of California voted fair and square for this.
And if there's anything I believe in fervently, and that is freedom of speech. A man has a right to protest for right. And you have nothing to fear from the homosexuals. Most of the homosexuals inside, there's a certain amount of goodness. They know right from wrong, even deep down within the subliminal areas of their subconscious mind. They have some sparkling of morality inside of them. They're not going to hurt you. And frankly, I have a lot of compassion for homosexuals. Would you like to be a homosexual, or would I like to be a homosexual and bear the blunt of discrimination and all this kind of stuff? No, of course not. So I have an enormous amount of compassion on them. But by God Almighty, I am not about to let them run this country. I am not about to. They're not going to teach kids here. They are not going to become president. They're not going to become vice president. They're not going to become my senators and congressmen. You can just forget that right now. I want men that respect God and country, number one.
And when I was out there in San Francisco, the men were dressed up like women. They was wearing dresses. They was wearing hot pants. They was wearing wigs, big giant sunglasses like those go-go glasses everybody used to wear in the 60s. Mm-hmm. And I looked, I said to myself, you people are sick, man.
They have more respect.
They're sick, John. And this one guy, he had a beard, a light beard, mm-hmm. and he had makeup on. He had long hair, and I got into an argument with some of these queers out there. I said, you're not a man. You are sick. You want to be a woman. You have a severe psychological problem.
These people, they have more respect, as the Bible puts it, more respect for the created than they do for the Creator. They would rather have sex with another man than to worship God and to do the right thing and to be moral and just and clean and pure and decent. Okay. That's the way I see it, and that's why I will not support them. I voted yes on Proposition 8, and that's final. It is supposed to be a Christian country. I don't care what anybody else says. It is a Christian country, not a Buddhist country, not a voodoo country, not a Mohammedan country, none of that stuff. It is a Christian country, number one and foremost. Without Christian principles, we wouldn't be here, and every homosexuality deep down inside knows that. We'd be finished.
I was reading the paper, and they have this queer chorus. They had 30 queers in pink cowboy hats singing My Boy Lollipop and My Guy.
Lollipop, lollipop. Oh my, lollipop, lollipop.
John,
can you imagine?
I could not. When I read it in the paper, I sent an email to one of the editors mm-hmm. who wrote the story. I said, this is so immoral to have a man walking around in pink. Only women wears pink. Men don't wear pink. It is totally, see, this is what I'm trying to say. It's not about discrimination. It's not about hate. You gay people out there have severe psychological problems. See, now they think they're being discriminated against. Well, sure, gays are always going to be discriminated against. You read in the Bible, all it is discrimination. And actually, under the Constitution, your rights are being violated of marriage and happiness and raising a family, but it's all about having morals. Our government has the right to discriminate against people if they feel that our society is being threatened, John, and it is.
It's definitely being threatened by that. People who love more sensuality than they love right.